This is our monthly update video from the founder. My name is Lydia Scher. I'm also the treasurer of the board of directors, and I'm excited to introduce to you some of our leadership today, as well as give a shout out to Meridian for inviting us to their recent Global Leadership Summit, as well as introducing our new Global Student Ambassador, Farah, which you will meet her later, and you can also see one of her videos that was recently published on our YouTube channel. We have our official announcement for our pilot project in Pakistan coming out soon, and I'm very, very excited to create a special video and press release covering that project and entirely dedicated to what that project will entail, as well as a detailed explanation of the budget. So part of the effort of these videos is to keep our organization transparent, and even before we're completely implementing Web3 technology, to follow the Web3 ethos of being accessible and transparent. So without further adu, let's dive into some of the website updates. As you can see, since the last video I made, the website looks different. Actually, I'm honestly still wanting some more changes to the logo. We're going to probably do a rebranding that is a bit more professional looking over the next few months, but for now we're keeping the same logo and color scheme. And we've added a news section, so you can see some of our updates coming from, you can actually watch my speech from last week in Washington, D.C. If there's things you don't agree with, please let me know. I'd be happy to hear what you think in the comments as well. And soon we have a Citizen Diplomat NFT that will be tied to our Citizen Diplomacy or Web3 Diplomacy online course. So everyone who becomes a student diplomat will go through this training program and receive one of these NFTs as a membership agreement after completing that program. We find this to be a very innovative way for a distributed network of professional leaders from around the world to participate in citizen-to-citizen diplomacy. We've also started our People's Accord story library, and right now you can watch these videos on YouTube. I recently watched them today in VR, and it was pretty exciting to see this coming to life. So the People's Accord's website has also been condensed so that the About Us, story library, blog, share your story, FAQ, and leadership are all condensed under one navigation page. We also have added a page for our Youth Diplomats program and updated the project's submission procedure. So on the story library, you can see that we have started adding some of the stories from our YouTube channel, and we have a couple really exciting partnerships and collaborations going on in the background to have a more robust and diverse library of stories to share. The blog is also under development. We'll have some very high-level academic as well as news-oriented articles on the blog that reflect our mission and work in Web3 and citizen diplomacy and enfranchising communities to achieve sustainable development goals. It's a lot, right? Some big words in there. But in all seriousness, we still encourage you to share your story. We had some problems with international scheduling by just letting people calendar their appointments. So please first email us by clicking on this link. We're also going to be expanding the frequently asked questions list. And for our leadership, I'm happy to introduce on behalf of the other two members of the board, Sarah Alexander. She actually is living in Pakistan and recently came down with dengue fever. So I am sending out some prayers and would like all of you watching this video to send out some prayers for her health and quick recovery. The president of our board and VR expert is Tim Truesdale, and he has a world experience of working in community capacity building in South America, as well as in the Middle East, and is a professional expert in VR, where I am the founder, founding member, treasurer, and also blockchain expert. Sarah is really amazing. She is managing our social media as well as advertising campaigns and being our on-the-ground support in Pakistan for our pilot project. She has experience in grant writing and is quite a talented individual. So that is our board of directors, and I'd like to introduce you now to our board of advisors. We currently have 4 advisors. Our first is Marwan El Balaidi, and I apologize, Marwan, for the typo on your last name here. We actually met at the United Nations in New York, and he is from the Egyptian delegation, and he works as a media specialist. He has his own media company as well, producing everything from documentary films to music videos. Marwan is an incredible professional, And I'm also excited to introduce you to our other three advisors to the board, which are Musa Blimpo. He's a former senior economist of the World Bank, and he's from Togo, Africa. He worked in the African region and is now actually working at the University of Toronto as an assistant professor on economic inequality. And we're very grateful to have his thoughts and input on our projects and on our mission. Now, I'd like to introduce Martin Rauchbauer. He is a former Austrian tech ambassador in Silicon Valley and tech governance expert. He is one of the kindest and most humble and intelligent people I have met, and he is incredibly well-versed in digital diplomacy, tech diplomacy, and diplomacy practices in general. So his expertise in this project and leading our board to be successful is highly valued, and we'd like to thank you, Martin. She is certainly not the least, Miss Natasha Rousseau. She is purpose-driven in her as a publicity manager for the Blockchain Infrastructure Carbon Offset Working Group, and she has an immense wealth of experience in diplomacy as well as public relations, and speaks multiple languages, is just an incredible woman all around. And I am so grateful to call her an advisor to the People's Accords. And we are accepting about 4 more advisory positions, someone who can be a legal advisor, as well as someone who can be a cybersecurity advisor, and maybe 1 more blockchain and metaverse and virtual reality expert. So if you are watching this video and you fall within any of those categories, please reach out to us on our website through the Contact Us page, and we will get with you as soon as possible for an interview. Thank you. And we have actually created unique NFTs, which you can see on OpenSea and are in the description below if you would like to check it out, for all of our board members and advisors. And eventually we'll be able to also get your Web3 diplomacy NFT collection with 250,000 NFTs. But the idea is that you can have more than 1 student diplomat from each country, but that there should be a limit of 250,000 student diplomats for this first edition. The whole point of this organization is to be inclusive and encourage as many people as possible to take ownership in achieving goals that help their community become a better place for everyone to live in. It's that simple. Moving on, we have the Youth Diplomats Program, which you can apply for. Young leaders can be empowered to lead change in their community and make new connections that didn't exist before, both globally and within the community. We have potential for interviewing people from around the world, as well as hosting project competitions at their universities and speaking and attending events on behalf of the People's Accords, given the circumstances, or if it's relevant for the situation. We just foresee so many leadership opportunities for our Youth Diplomats program. And currently, our online application for both our citizen diplomats and our projects is under review to have a more structured and also inclusive process. There are some things that maybe most people in can't access using Web3 technology, but then there's also certain government regulations that we need to adhere to and make sure that we have in our policies and strategies before we have any sort of online application form. So as we're doing a more strategic review, especially for our project submission guide, we appreciate your patience. Obviously, we have the basic outline of what you need, and we would still encourage anyone who's interested, who has an idea towards any of the sustainable development goals. There's 17 of them. So if you have an idea, it's likely going to fall into one of these categories. Reach out to us. We'll see if we can fit you into our framework, if your project meets our mission, and then maybe after the success of our pilot project later this year, we can continue repeating and scaling this model in other places around the world. That pretty much sums up my update for today. We will be having a more in-depth update coming soon. There will be an even more improved version of the website with a forum for members, and there will be more exclusive educational content. I'd like to finish this off by inviting you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The People's Accords, and check out the stories we have so far. We have interviewed some people from multiple countries and have a lot of interesting stories on the way. And we also invite you to please follow us on Twitter. And for those people who wish to donate, we actually are not accepting all public donations. We are trying to have a very selective approach to our fundraising process, where only specific companies or individuals who are really in line with our mission can actually donate. So thank you so much for your interest. If you do know somebody who has significant influence in their community and would resonate with the idea of Web3 citizen diplomacy, have them come to our website and contact us so that we can see if they qualify for being a contributor to our organization. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this update today, and we look forward to hearing from you and being in touch with you again soon. Thank you.